the Firefit National Championships, presented by Scott Safety, protecting what matters most. Hello and welcome to Spruce Meadows in Calgary, Alberta for the 2016 Scott Firefit National Championships, a stunning setting for Canada's finest firefighter athletes at this, their annual showcase event. I'm Perry Solkowski, your host, for over the next hour of great sporting competition. It's been 20 years since they dubbed this the toughest 2 minutes in sport, but these days it's more like the toughest minute. That's how far the sport has come, and here at Spruce Meadows, over 300 firefighters from across the country are here to show that Firefit is fitter, faster, and stronger than ever. Thanks to a new breed of Firefit competitors led by Oakville's Ian Van Reenen, times have been tumbling. He set a new world record in qualifying this year. Amber Bowman is having the same electrifying effect on the women's Firefit racing. Having become the first woman to break 2 minutes at last year's Nationals, she's taken even more time off that record this year. This is Ian Van Reenen taking last year's national crown in Kitchener, Ontario. Since then, he's joined the Oakville Fire Department and has arrived at Spruce Meadows faster than ever.
Yeah, on Wednesday and Thursday we did qualifying runs, so I was able to get a personal best of 1:11 on Thursday. So I feel pretty confident going to Saturday on the finals. Hopefully the weather holds up and the rain holds off this year.
Central York's Amber Bowman holds an equally dominant pole position, having lowered her world best by 4 seconds faster than her historic win in Kitchener 12 months ago.
Came out, had a pretty successful season so far. Started with 158, so left off at what I was last year, and then 2 weeks ago just broke my record with a 154. It was quite a chunk off my time. It was just one of those races that everything clicked and went smooth, and my training and everything has been pretty consistent, and yeah, put it out there.
I think that Amber Bowman going under 2 minutes last year, I think that just raised the bar, and from top to bottom, the times are just getting lower and lower. Even at the fire stations now, everyone cares a bit more about their fitness, and especially the women, that's what we're seeing. And then having that bar set so high now, you have to keep up.
And how far has this sport progressed on the women's side? Well, how about Heather Willis, a volunteer from Red Lake, Ontario, taking a massive 3 minutes off her personal best in an earlier round at Spruce Meadows. And the top women are in action when we return to Spruce Meadows. Welcome back to Spruce Meadows in the 2016 Scott Firefit National Championships. With the women's individual event underway, Jacqueline Stevenson from the Calgary Fire Department, just up the road from here, has set the fastest time so far as we join the women's event with 3 races to go. Perry Solkowski along with Dale McRoberts as we get set for some competition, and we begin with Jolene Cartwright up against Carla Morrison.
And what a great atmosphere for racing here at Spruce Meadows. They have really set the stage. Look at this event site. The competitors are ready to go. We start them off by raising the flag. We say go. They've got to load a 42-pound high-rise pack on their shoulder, and then they're going up 60 steps to the top of a 6-story building. This is one of the toughest events in Firefit, but you know what? We've got the 5 essential tasks of firefighting. The first one is getting up to the fire floor. As we approach, you've got to put that high-rise pack into or on the box or receive a 2-second penalty. Now you see there, Jolene on the right, on the yellow course, she can stand on that high-rise pack. If you're 5'6" or under, you're allowed to. The decision she has to make is she would have to put it into or on the box or receive a 2-second penalty. Let's see what she does. They're bringing that 45-pound donut roll of hose up and over into the box. She chose to leave the high-rise pack. Now we're coming down the steps. Once again, we have referees monitoring. For safety purposes, you must touch every step or receive a 2-second penalty. As we come down out of the tower, we're going to be onto the course, entering the forcible entry. Here it requires 500 pounds of force to move that I-beam. When you see green, then you're go. Off to the next event.
Cartwright and Morrison virtually neck and neck, just over a minute into their competition, as they sprint down for the first time.
That's right, they're running 140 feet serpentine. They're going back to this charged length of Angus high combat hose. They've got to drag it 75 feet, knock down a target, close a bail, and then off to rescue Randy. Here's the tough part right here. 300 pounds of force required to get to that doorway.
Jolene from Shell Albion Sands. And how about this for Carla Morrison? She's a new mom only a few weeks ago and is putting herself in this competition. Unbelievable, and we've got a great finish with these two.
And once again, great matchups here. As we've been racing across the country at regional events, they're qualifying for the nationals. This is why we get these big matchups. Alberta versus Alberta in this one.
Is there anything left at the finish to catch up?
And rescue Randy, he weighs 175 pounds. That's the average weight of a North American male. He weighs more than Jolene does right now, but she's doing a great job getting him across that blue line.
And it looks like this first race, Jolene Cartwright will have it with the win. It's all about the time, 2:29.7.
And an awesome effort from Carla. She's done a lot just to get to this racing point, and what a fantastic job, both these competitors.
And with that time, Jolene Cartwright is our new leader. Getting set for Carla Penman, representing the District of North Vancouver against Carla Carnes from Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Penman saying it's fun to be competing in a new territory in these competitions.
I'm in the over 40 category now. It's great, having an over 40 category for women especially, because, it's hard to compete with those 21-year-olds. And so having that category, it's going to keep us in the game and give us something to push for.
Well, she has something to push for in this race. Should be a good one. Penman versus Carnes.
And Carla Penman, she's been competing for 20 years. She was hired in British Columbia, was one of the first firefighter recruits. And boy, she got on North Van District and has been running, competing, staying in top shape. And you can see it here, getting to the top of the tower, right in stride with her fellow competitor, Carla Cairns from Swift Current.
Dale, I imagine with these competitors, they've turned this into such a fine art. They probably know with each obstacle what their time should be and where they are.
That's right. They practice by taking splits. Now they're up against another competitor who's like-minded. They know that they should be together coming off the tower. And here you see Carla Penman is going to be playing a little bit of catch-up to Carla Cairns from Swift Current. She's coached by Peter LaRue, one of the famous past competitors. And with a small department, at one time they had half of their department coming out for our events. On to forcible entry. Here, Carla Cairns, she's been racing at several regional events now. Even though she's a newcomer to the competition, she's got the speed, and with proper coaching and training, this is what you can do.
Swift Current fighter with a comfortable lead as she has the hose now, moving down, getting set, hit her target and move forward.
Key here is to save enough energy to get this second most difficult event. 175 pounds just to lift it, get a good grip, and now know that you're dragging it 100 feet backwards.
Well, we heard Carla Penman say it's nice that they have a over 40 category to compete in. Now it's tough, but she is giving it her all against her competitor, Carla Carnes.
That's right. We have age categories, but it's still the same work. Nothing changes on the course. What you see out here is firefighters doing the firefighters' most important job right here, getting a victim to safety.
It's going to be a really good time for Carla Cairns of Swift Current, Saskatchewan as well. 2:11.05 for her win in this heat.
Awesome time for Carla Cairns, and you know what? Good show. Carla Penman been competing for years, still able to do it.
Kids loving it. Maybe some future firefighters to be competing in this. With that time, Cairns take the lead with only one more women's race to go. Amber Bowman taking on Olivia Walker when we return to the 2016 Scott Firefit National Championships. Welcome back to Spruce Meadows in Alberta, the home of the Canadian equestrian events, but this time it's the 2016 Scott Firefit National Championships, and it's the climax of the women's event. Carla Cairns of Saskatchewan, the leader, but two more races to go, and this is it. The only two women in the world to be sub 2 minutes in this event, Olivia Walker from Toronto against the defending champion who knows the pressure, Amber Bowman.
There's definitely more pressure on the national event. It's your last races of the season, and everything you've trained for and sacrificed, you just want to put together. So there's way more pressure on the big event.
Dale, doesn't matter what sport, when you got two of the best, a club of two who've been under 2 minutes, it's the last race. This is exactly what you want.
And they put all the training in right now. Now it's a matter of doing it clean on the course. Here's the start.
Bowman on the red, early lead to Walker in yellow.
Oh, there's a stumble there with Amber on the red side. So she has been training really hard. She's got a time set that she wants to do, even faster than her world record. Now she's got to play catch up to probably the only person here that's going to give her a race that can go sub 2.
Like a sprinter getting ready for the big rest. Really, it's 3 seconds in and she made a little stumble.
Now you got to be careful not to overdo it. Now say you have to make it up. You still have to do everything else as planned. You see now, Olivia Walker, her first race of the year, she goes sub 2. Now here she is racing against our 4-time national champion. This is gonna be a good one because you've got the youngster, the new competitor coming out of the blocks fast, and Amber Bowman now is gonna chase her down if she wants that 5-peat.
Well, you heard Amber Bowman talking about the pressure of being on the national stage. She's really never been in a position of playing catch-up. She saw coming down the stairs what she had to do, and now this is her opportunity. And Dale, she's almost done it already.
And this is what we were looking for. Two competitors giving each other a good race here, making the other competitor go at their fastest. And we are exactly tied going to that target. Amber's putting her shoulder into it right now, knocks down the target, may have a slight lead. Let's see how fast these dummy pickups are. That'll make it or break it.
A little lead for Amber Bowman. You know she wanted to set a new world record. That stumble may not allow her to, but it looks like she will get the win.
Well, she's still on pace, and you know what? She's got a fantastic time going. Olivia had a little bit of a slower pickup. She may not be able to catch Amber, but let's watch the clock when they hit the finish line.
Both of them the only women in the world to be under 2 minutes. Will they be under 2 minutes in this same race here in Spruce Meadows? That's a yes for Amber Bowman. Olivia Walker looks like she'll just be above 2:04. She stumbles at the end. Both exhausted, but the defending champion Amber Bowman does exactly that at Spruce Meadows in the 2016 National Championships.
And at the start of the race there was a slight stumble with Amber that kind of took her off her pace. This is where a champion's experience comes into hand. Now she just regroups, sets her course, and does what she does best. She'll catch up later.
Well, and that's where it seemed to be. She took a while, but the time she got down to the stairs and back on the ground, it looked like Amber Bowman was always in control of this one.
And you see when we got to the mannequin for the pickup, Amber gets in there quick, does a lift, starts moving. Olivia, who's really been pushing it, she's starting to feel that in her legs now. The lactic acid's building up. She gets a good lift.
And there's Amber Bowman. That's not a high five, that's 5. 5 national titles in a row. She's as good as it gets in the sport of firefit. Welcome back to Spruce Meadows, and it's Amber Bowman once again, lifting the Women's Scott Firefit National Crown. Another sub-2 minute performance, this time seeing off the challenge from the fast-rising challenger Olivia Walker. Carla Kearns from Swift Current takes third, and from the District of North Vancouver, Carla Penman is in 4th place. But it's Bowman who again dominates a come-from-behind victory after finding herself off the pace early in the opening tower element.
Well, you never want to have some stumbles and be catching. So that wasn't the plan, but through all my training and everything, my instincts just pulled through and, played a little bit of catch up, but ultimately pulled through. I had a few pack issues prior to walking out, so mentally maybe a little bit not being prepared like I normally would be. And then when I started, I don't think the high rise pack was fully on my shoulder. So when I went to take my second step, that's when I stumbled and I just couldn't get my stair momentum going like I normally would. I had a goal of 153 to break this year. I broke 154 a couple of weeks ago. So that 53 was my goal today. And I'm pretty pleased to say that at 56, today with all those mistakes truly did show that my training and my process was bang on.
So the equestrian haven of Spruce Meadows, for the first time playing host to Canada's top firefighter sports event. And it's the nearby Calgary Fire Department that has also played a major role in putting the event on, organizing and competing.
Our team has been going for about 6 years now. We've kind of, the last few years, we've started hosting some of the events, and with that you get a lot more attention from our department. It's been growing probably every year. We've almost seen a 100% gain in people that are participating with that. And going forwards, I think we'll just probably, again, getting faster and with the support from our department and our members. And should be, we're looking up. Positive going down the road.
And AJ, as he's known, took time out from the hard work of helping to set up the event with the even harder job of dragging Rescue Randy across the finish line in a time of under 1:30. Great time here at the home of show jumping.
Spruce Meadows, anything they get their hands on and decide to partner with, they do a fantastic job with. And they've definitely taken the sport up a few notches, and everybody that's involved with it can see that. So I would say the sky's the limit when you're dealing with Spruce Meadows.
So a hard act to follow for anyone else hosting a Firefit event, but here's a quick look at our schedule for next year. Another Spruce Meadows event planned in June with 15 regional competitions leading up to the Nationals in the nation's capital, Ottawa, next September. And here are some of the highlights from the earlier rounds in the men's event. Drumheller's Dwayne Bolin breaking the 150 barrier in the over 50s category. Bolin's son Matt also taking part in the team that happened to feature the Smith brothers, Mitch and Kyle, as well. And the evergreen Cyril Fraser back and winning at the event he's really made his own over the past 2 decades. The Halifax firefighter, now in the over 60s category, but still pushing 1 minute 40 here at Spruce Meadows. And another Firefit stalwart, Craig Harnham, leading a team of 4 from Corner Brook. The sport is growing on the rock, and Deputy Chief Harnham is showing the way to go, still breaking 2 minutes with some style. Another team making strides at the Firefit Nationals, Ontario's Clearview, a volunteer department led by Robert Morey with this 1 minute 43 clocking. 4 of the 5 Clearview members made it through to finals day, a personal best. And a chance to see Brett Ash from the Winnipeg Fire Department breaking the 1 minute 30 mark. Winnipeg will host the first Manitoba regional event next year, and on this forum they'll be making a name for themselves in front of their hometown fans. And how about this forum from volunteer Jimmy Ivinsky? The Embrun firefighter may not get to train at the level of the full-time firefighters, but he was the fastest volunteer on the day, just shy of 1 minute 30. So now we get to the heart of the main event, the big guns gunning for the national Firefit crown. As we rejoin the action, Edmonton's Chris Graisley has set the fastest time, 1:22.11, but the action's just going to get hotter from this point on. As we get set for our first race, we remind you it's also part of a team event, and Darren Van Zandenbergen feels good about his Oakville squad.
Coming in, we knew we had a very good chance, especially hiring Ian. The times that we are capable of putting down, we can really, break some records, and that's kind of what we were looking for.
We're going to try to see how we do on team time, so hopefully the other guys can go fast, so there's a little bit less pressure on me. But yeah, see how fast we can go.
Yeah, Van Reenen will be the anchor leg on this Oakville team. Kamloops have been so fast too in recent years. But Dale, it starts with some times, and when you go to team events, Oakville actually has one racer disqualified already, so more pressure on them.
That's right, more important for that third scoring person as we line up here. 2 of our top teams fighting for that team championship. Oh, as you see, as we head up there, Don Clark on the yellow lane. He caught his pack underneath the first step. So let's see if he can catch up to Darren Van Zandenbergen as they head up the stairs. Looks like a dead heat. This is what everyone's come to see. A couple of the top teams vying for that national trophy.
2 veterans, and Clark's got to be thinking really in the first second a little bit of a hitch, but went right past it, and now we're into a great race as they fly down the stairs.
And these competitors know each other. They've been racing for years. Remember, Kamloops is our 5-time national champion. And an upcoming team wanting to get that trophy off their back, Oakville. As we finish the force machine, Don Clark, he's got speed. And you know what? He's been racing at this event for years. They're both in the over 40 category. Individually, they're racing for their individual time for the medals, but everyone, firefighting is a team event, and everyone's always trying to help their department and their team get the best score. Boy, Darren had a little bit of a trip there. He had a sprained ankle earlier in the year, just tripped over the nozzle of the hose. Let's see if he's a huge dummy dragger. Let's see if he can catch Don Clark.
Looks like Clark will be able to take this home. The time will be so important. As you said, it's individual, but it's also a team. Great push, though, at the end by Van Zandbergen. 124.26. There you see the difference, less than 1 second. But Clark from Kamloops gets across the finish line first.
Key to this event is if you make a mistake or something happens, keep on going. There's a lot of room here, and we had a mistake at the very beginning from Don Clark, but then you had a trip from Darren Van Zandbergen there, keeps his foot and still gets to the dummy. Look at that, almost catches Donnie Clark.
Darren Clark with the win from Kamloops. Lots of action still ahead. You're watching the 2016 Scott Firefit National Championships from Spruce Meadows. Firefit National Championships, we want to thank all our supporting sponsors. Welcome back to Spruce Meadows, the 2016 Scott Firefit National Championships. We get set for Christopher Foxwell from Toronto against Daryl Hootmeier from Edmonton, Alberta. These two set to race. Perry Solkowski along with Dale McRoberts as the two competitors. A little fist bump and ready to go.
And both these competitors are on top teams. As a matter of fact, Toronto is leading the team category right now. So here we go. This will be interesting. Keep track of their individual times, and we're going to keep you abreast of how the team is doing.
It just seems to be one of these days where we really haven't seen the perfect, clean race. But so far, both these guys, and just as I say it, a little bit of a problem up top there.
There you go. The high-rise pack and donut roll have to go into or on the box, or it's a 2-second penalty. Chris put it back in the box. There's no penalty, but look how much time he's lost. He's got a lot of work to catch up to Daryl.
Daryl with the big lead in the red lane and still has lots of energy as he makes his first sprint down the course, and now he's ready to go with the hose.
That's right, and Edmonton is one of the top teams. They won our relay championship last year. But as they continue on here, we'll have to make sure our referee Vince is right on that nozzle there. If he saw the competitor close the bail, there's no penalty. So he was right on top of it. And here we go. Great race for Daryl Hootmeier from Edmonton. We'll have to check their scores after this too.
Hootmeier will have the win. It'll be the time that he'll look at, and his teammates just dives across the finish line in 1:18.43. Foxwell still coming and working hard. Every second will count for him, and he finishes in 1:27.60. Hootmeier with that time takes the lead in our current standings.
And at this level, a couple of mistakes really cost you, as we see at the top of the tower with Chris. His donut roll, it was rolling out, he caught it, put it back in, and then played catch-up.
It just does seem to be one of those days so far. A lot of these talented Firefit competitors making a little mistake here and there. But we continue on. The time now, little Battle of Alberta. Stephen Brightcruz from Fort McMurray taking on Paul Offram of Edmonton, who will be in the red course.
As we start, once again, fist bump, great camaraderie amongst these competitors. They race against each other all through the regional events. You have to qualify at a regional to make it to the national championships. Here are the top firefighters in all Canada racing for the championships. Up at the top of the tower, right side by side. Notice the different techniques of pulling the rope. And Paul Offram from Edmonton, boy, he just barely got that thing over the railing. It's a real art to try and get all the speed you can and keeping enough energy to finish this course fast. This is why they train all year long for this event.
Just saw his teammate from Edmonton win, so he wants to add to it, thinking of a team time too. And Offram has the lead, but very quickly, Bright Cruz is right on his tail.
And both these top teams, once again, they'll be in the hunt for the team championship. So they're racing their individual race, but every one of their teammates is on the side of the course right now, rooting them on. Come on, let's go. Let's get a good team time.
Seen a lot of good individual races. This is the first one, though, where it's almost neck and neck. Although Offren from Edmonton sees that he has the lead, and I don't think he's giving it up. Stretching and pushing, trying to get to that finish line. Looking at his time, how good will it be? He gets across in 1:22.39, and a very good time, 1:23.92 from Bright Cruz. I love the look when they take the mask off. It is always of joy and exhaustion from these great Firefit athletes.
Well, you can't believe how tired you are when you get to this point here and you still have to do the mannequin rescue. And when you hit the mat, sometimes it's your last step to hit the mat.
Well, two good times there, a nice close race, and the boys from Edmonton happy with what they've done. Now let's continue on. Another Edmonton in the red lane will be Jordan King. He'll be going up against Bo Hobbs from Toronto.
And once again, the team matchups are important, but these guys train for this moment right here. You're right. What does it feel like to put all that gear on? That's okay. This is their business suit. These firefighters, this is, like we said, the 5 essential tasks of firefighting. This is what they do. And it's called a competition with a purpose, because this gets you better at firefighting. So they don't mind all the training. And if you love training, get into the fire service.
Great rhythm from these competitors as they're bringing it up and now head down the steps. And a good, clean race. And you have to think, the Edmonton firefighters have been on a roll, as we've seen in the last few races, that will just carry over to what we're seeing right now.
They have a great team attitude. They train together, they work hard, and as we get through the racing here, you'll see that these guys are all really good. Now it comes down to, as you mentioned, the mistakes. Does someone get a penalty? Does someone have a slip? And can you get a clean run when you're going your absolute fastest?
Good pace by King, hits the target. One element left of this race. Best time is from his teammate, 1:18.43. Take a look at the clock. Where is he right now? What does he have left? He's going to be close. It will be past the 1:18. But again, that's another good time. They'll take the top 3 for the team event.
And once again, these are awesome times. There was a time when we didn't know if we could go under 1:30. Now these guys are getting to 1:20. Guess what? We're going to be seeing times faster than that all day long.
Well, we talked about maybe a little bit of momentum that the Edmonton firefighters have. Look at the face of Jordan King. Just left it all out there and had himself another great time. So the team from Edmonton thinking, you know what? They've done their part individually, and they might be somewhere when it comes to the final team standings. Daryl Hootmar with the fastest time as we take a break. We'll return to Spruce Meadows right after this. And welcome back to Spruce Meadows, the 2016 Scott Firefit Nationals. Perry Solkowski along with Dale McRoberts and some of the best athletes you will find. Fit and fast, Mike Brown from Kamloops, Matthew Bacca from Oshawa set the race head-to-head.
And Mike Brown from Kamloops, he's got a time to beat there. Daryl Hootmeyer has a 1:18.43. They'll be shooting for that. He's the captain of that Kamloops team. And Matt Bacca was our host just a couple of weeks ago in Oshawa. He is fast, and this should be a good race here if they can get a clean run on this tower.
Good start for both guys. Really step for step as they head up the tower early on.
And when you're matched up in a race, that's what you want. You want a good race side by side, let the other competitor push you. You see Mike Brown had a little trouble with that rope there. Now he's fallen a couple of pulls behind Matt Bacca. He's not going to slow down.
Big Matt Bacca. Goalie went over to Poland to try for one of the top professional clubs there. Big wingspan on him, and he took the lead, pulling up the donuts.
A lot of great athletes in this sport. The fire service caters to the people that are on teams, and you're athletic all your life. Here's a chance to prove it with the Firefit Championships. And Matt Bacca striding out there. You can see he's using that body of his. Everybody is different here. You're going to see all types, all body types here. Matt Bacca's got big steps He's powerful. Now he'll put it all to work here. How much energy has he saved? Does he have a dummy drag that can beat Mike Brown, who's one of the best?
It really seems that Matthew Baca has put together a very clean race. How fast has it been? Really hasn't been any slow points for him. 1:18 was the top time. It won't beat that, but still a great time for Matthew Baca as he crosses line in 1:23.11, and a good come from behind effort, 1:24.33 for the veteran Mike Brown from Kamloops.
And you see, that's knowing your competitor. He knew he had to get a lead on Mike Brown. Mike Brown is notorious for his great dummy drag. Good race.
Brown, part of that strong contingent, as you said for years, that entire crew out of Kamloops, always strong in the team event. Baca, that's where he really made the difference early on in the event. So he adds a solid time to his team. Let's take a look at where this sits in the team standings. Now, they can change because races are seeded, but right now, Edmonton, we've seen some really strong performances. They have themselves a comfortable lead over their provincial rival from Fort McMurray. Time now for Derek Graff to go head-to-head against Chris Crozier. For Graff, he says it's about concentrating on his own event.
You can't be playing catch-up. That's when you try and speed up and you start making mistakes, and you really got to worry about yourself. Maybe once you get off the tower, maybe glance over, see where your competitor's at to push you a little bit. But other than that, if you get caught up where he's at, I find for myself that's where mistakes get made, and you're just digging yourself a deeper hole. So.
Well, let's see what we got. These two firefighters, one from Stratford, Ontario, Graff from Thompson, Manitoba.
And big Chris Crozier from Stratford. This is his first year competing, and he has made phenomenal progress as he goes up against one of our best competitors from Thompson, Manitoba, Derek Graff. And look at Chris, he's got that donut roll all the way up. Oh, there's one of the mistakes that...
And he does have to put it back in, doesn't he? You can see the official almost chasing Graff down. He will get a penalty, doesn't he?
That's right, a 2-second penalty. Derek had a choice of leaving it and taking the time or putting it back in. He chose to get in the hunt, chase after Chris.
Do you think they know at that point, Dale, that it came up?
I'm pretty sure Derek knows that, and as he mentioned, sometimes when you make a mistake, you just got to press on. A little bit of a slip there from Chris, and once again, these are big guys. They're wearing firefighting gear. They're all wearing bunker suits. They're wearing boots, gloves, helmets, and breathing from a Scott air pack. These are real firefighters doing real firefighting tasks.
Chris Crozier, boy, you said Crozier a rookie at this, and he's like a veteran, just solid right start from finish. That one little slip, and we're going to look at a great time. 1:18 was the best time. Crozier's going to be very close to it, just under 1:20, 1:19.42, 1:20.82 on the other side for Graff, but he will be penalized. An outstanding race for Chris Crozier of Stratford, Ontario.
As you can see, penalties, once again, it has to go into or on the box, or you have to put it back in, and a slip can happen at any time. When you're pushing, when you're racing hard.
Well, it's so competitive, the adrenaline is flowing. Crozier, though, going to be thrilled with what he did and his time. And now let's see a couple of others who are ready to go. From Fredericton, New Brunswick, Ryan Hallam will be on the yellow side. On the red course, Ian Pringle from Brampton, Ontario. And as we've seen, Dale, we've seen great times in races, the respect that the racers have for each other. But it has been tough on this gorgeous day at Spruce Meadows for these guys to have clean runs. Let's see if we can get one here between these two great Firefit competitors.
Well, look at our atmosphere here. We got great crowds. The course is perfect. And these are the best competitors in Canada. Ian Pringle, Ryan Hallam, they've been some of our top competitors for years. And look at this, perfectly matched. They're hoping that each of them gets their best time. As they're pulling up, so far so good. Look at that donut roll, it's up and over. Holy mac, Ian Pringle takes one arm, barely gets it over. You gotta be careful. If that donut roll or anything falls off the tower, you're disqualified. So he took a chance, but he's racing against Ryan Hallam from Fredericton. He is gonna be in the medals if he can keep up with him. So here we go now, it's off and running.
Now this has been a great race, great speed for both of them. A little bit of a risk there by Pringle, but risk reward. He gets it, and after that sprint, he is right back in the race as they get to the hose.
Now they're charging down here. You've got the amount of work it takes to get here. Your legs are now burning with the lactic acid buildup. You've got to get in there, get a good grip, get up and get going. Don't hesitate.
What a great race this has been for Ryan Hallam. 1:18.43, the best time to beat. Hallam is going to be all over it if he won't beat it. Let's see what that time is that he closes into the clock. Hallam going. He'll shatter at 1:18. He gets by in 1:18.18. Didn't shatter it, but it certainly is the fastest time of the day from Fredericton. Ryan Hallam with an absolutely great run.
There's that pole we saw. A little bit of a dangerous move, but he was trying to keep up with Ryan. With one hand, he got it up and over. That's 45 pounds of strength it takes to do that. But that's what we're looking at, our top competitors all year.
Lots of action still ahead. You're watching the 2016 Scott Firefit National Championships. So welcome back to Spruce Meadows and the Scott Firefit Nationals. Fredericton's Ryan Hallam holding the lead, but it's the sports elite coming up, including this man, Ian Van Reenen, the star of the Oakville, Ontario team.
We refer to it as the Connor McDavid sweepstakes. We picked up Ian Van Reenen last year, and he's added so much to the team. We all know he's the fastest guy that's ever competed in this sport. I've been in the sport for 12 years, and no one stepped on this course like him before. For me, I have 100% output, let's say, till 3/4, almost the full amount of the race, and he just doesn't run out. He's full steam, 110% throughout the entire race. Yeah, I think we're going to see a sub 110 run today. He ran 2 111s in the qualifiers. The second one was had quite a few little hiccups and mistakes. I've seen him do some training runs this year, just phenomenal.
Yeah, Sean Henderson is happy to have Ian Van Reenen. He says 110. I don't know if we'll see it in this race. Can Ian come up with 110? Can someone go that low, Dale?
No, Superman can, but no human can.
I'll remind you of that comment in a couple years because it seems to be getting faster and faster as we watch this. Hallam has the time to beat at 1:18.18. We're about to check in on Sean Henderson from Oakville and from Gagetown, a veteran who's just fast all the time and consistent, Jonathan Betts.
And the starter raise the flags, and you know what? They blast right out of the gun. Sean Henderson's been competing for a dozen years now. Jonathan Betts, he's been at the top of this game. Look at this, stride for stride, pull for pull on the rope. It's hard to believe that weighs 45 pounds. They're flipping it around like it weighs 10. Down the stairs as fast as they can. Watch their foot speed here. Look at Jonathan Betts come down on that red side of the course for CFB Gagetown. He's opened up quite a bit of a lead on Sean Henderson. And then this force machine, 500 pounds of force to move that. They've got to put that hammer down into the square, and it has to remain, or it would be a 2-second penalty. Now as we come up, we've got our Angus High Combat hose. Watch as they get to the doorway. They've got to knock down the DeWalt target, close the bail, and there's a good example. You've got to get that target down, and then you're off to rescue Randy. There's so many components to this event. You've got to put all your effort into going full speed towards that finish line.
Betts with the lead right from the very beginning. He'll have the lead right till the end. Betts coming across the finish line. This is going to be a good time. 1:18.18 the time to beat. He will be 1:20.04. Right beside him, coming up, finishing very strong, Sean Henderson in 1:21.26. Now, of course, there's the team event. Sean hoping to go under 1:20. That will be one of the scores that they'll use on the Oakville side, putting more pressure on Ian Van Reenen to go really low if Oakville has a chance.
And Jonathan Betts, right from the start, smooth and fast all the way through. That leads to this time right here.
Good clean race by both our competitors. These guys go by seeds, so these are 2 of the final 4, the fastest that have qualified. Fraser O'Neill from Fort McMurray will be on the yellow. Claude Belanger will be ready to go and hopping to see if they can beat that time of 1:18.18, put out by Ryan Hallam.
And Claude Belanger, no stranger to this position here. He's been running in the final races all his life and racing up against one of the fastest, Fraser O'Neill. Look how fast they are up the stairs. That is, you talk about different techniques. Jonathan Betts is smooth and fast on his feet. Claude Belanger is a big bull of a man. He's going up the tower. Big, strong pulls, and when he comes through the course, he wants to beat the course down. Fraser O'Neill, well, there's another example of one of those mistakes. The donut roll comes out. He made the decision to leave it and take the 2-second penalty.
O'Neill will really have to see if he can make up that 2-second penalty time up. Fort McMurray with some good runs so far today. But as you said, Claude Belanger, he's a competitor. He's a veteran in this, and he is moving today.
Look at him go down the course. If you put some football pads on him, he'd be knocking people down as he ran. But he's racing right now, his shoulders down, driving his legs, knocks down the target. And Fraser O'Neill, he's got a good dummy drag. Let's see if he can catch Claude. They're up and moving. It's 100 feet backwards. Both these competitors are at the end of the race, and you know what? They watch the clock as we come through. Let's see what kind of time they can put down. Looking good so far.
Oh, this will be our best time of the day. 1:16.89 for the veteran Claude Belanger. Best time of the day.
What a great head-to-head matchup. Both competitors beating the top time so far.
Wow, we've talked about speed, but we've talked about the importance of having the clean run. And really, that was it for Claude Belanger. Just flew up there and down in a big hurry to keep on going. No mistakes at all in his elements.
And Fraser O'Neill's going to have to live with that penalty, but boy, just a taste of what's to come.
And what is to come is our two fastest competitors, Graham McKenzie from Kamloops, Ian Van Reenen from Oakville. Van Reenen, as you heard his teammates say, he's like the Connor McDavid. He is beyond fast in this competition. There's a massive gap that he has to make up for a team competition, Oakville in third, but that's the time he'll look to beat. 1:16 is the best time on the day. This could very well be it and decide several things, Dale.
And he's racing up against Graham McKenzie. He's been one of our top competitors. He's the world record holder before Ian. So you're pitting the top two competitors. They've earned this position right here. Let's see who's got it.
Mistake-free from both of them so far.
Huge pulls from Ian. Graham's right behind him there. Here's the chase is on.
They talk about Van Reenen. It's the fact that eventually you get tired in this competition. You can't go all out for a minute 15, a minute 20, but he has been able to. What kind of time will he put together? So far mistake-free, and that is key. No penalties occurred.
That's right. He's not going to stop. He's going to find out. Can you do the whole race 100%? And he's doing it right now, so keep your eye. Graham McKenzie's got to be chasing him down if he can.
Full-on sprint with the hose. What does he have left? Could we be seeing a new record? Could we be seeing a new world record by Ian Van Reenen?
Well, the horses are heading to the final post, and he's looking like he can do it. Let's check out the clock.
He'll blow away 160. What about 110? Almost 110.79. A new world record by Ian Van Reenen. Who would have thought you could go that low at a Firefit competition?
I want to check out to see if he's wearing a cape underneath that jacket.
But you told me earlier 110 is impossible. I thought a couple years, if we had another competition next week, he may do it. Unbelievable run.
He's been doing this the whole time he's been competing. What a great asset for the Oakville team.
Well, it's mistake-free, and I think the fact is the pace never slows down when Ian Van Reenen is on a course.
And, you know, he's racing. He's always chasing the clock here. How could you go any faster than this? Well, maybe we'll find out. He's not done racing yet.
110.79, a world record for that young man in Spruce Meadows. What a day to remember for him. And that time is so low, third place for his teammates, ends up in first place. He took them along for the ride wearing that Superman cape. What a performance. Well, he's built like Superman. You're okay if you're in his neighborhood and he's the firefighter coming for you. What a performance by Ian Van Reenen and the crowd here at Spruce Meadows appreciating what they saw. That was spectacular. Young man, everything coming together for him today. He wins it by almost 6 full seconds over Graham McKenzie. Claude Belanger finishes in third. Great performances here, and as I mentioned, the team performance, look what a 110 will do for you. Oakville wins it, just edges out Edmonton by under 4 seconds. Kamloops finishes third.
Oh, it's awesome. It was great to race Graham again. We've raced 3 times this week, and the last couple of years we're racing each other. He's an excellent, outstanding competitor. He's 38 years old, so he's got a lot of age on me, but it's really close race between the two of us. And he's a great guy that it's awesome to race your friends that push each other. I don't want to let my teammates down, so puts more pressure on me to try to go faster to make our team time the best.
Oh, he made the team time the best. Some great competition and a spectacular performance to wrap things up at Spruce Meadow. There you see the winners in several categories that we have here at the Firefit competition. Some true camaraderie and some wonderful athletes displaying everything that they had to show. A rookie like Chris Strozer, a big part of what's going on. It has been a spectacular day here at Spruce Meadows. Keep watching TSN for a relay competition and our 2-person X3 competition. For everyone involved in the 2016 Scott Firefit National Championships, I'm Perry Solkowski saying so long from Spruce Meadows. The Firefit National Championships, presented by Scott Safety, protecting what matters most.